Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Bowman here, and today we're doing our review of Planescape Torment. Now, if you see me looking up here, that's because I'm looking at my notes. Just want to get that out of the way. It's going to be a pretty quick review as I got a lot of things going on in my life at the moment, so let's get right to it. So first thing I have down is within the first few minutes, the first hour of this game, I knew it felt completely different than Baldur's Gate. And you can check out my review of the Baldur's Gate series so far. I haven't had a chance to play Baldur's Gate 3 yet, but I did play the other games, and you can check my review out. I'll put that link in the description. But yeah, I knew right away that this was going to be totally different than any of the Baldur's Gate games. It just has a different feel to it. It feels I don't know if I want to say grittier, but it just has a different atmosphere and a different feeling to it. And it wasn't a bad feeling, but I could just tell that I was getting into something that was a little bit different than what I was used to playing. The other thing is right away I also found out that it's not super combat heavy as Baldur's Gate can sometimes be. It's very much more story driven and dialogue driven, and there is. I hope you are fine with reading large paragraphs. If not, then this game's probably not for you. But I was totally immersed into the story, and I had no problem, reading everything that the game sort of threw at me. So, yes, there is combat, and when it does happen, it is fun, but it's very there's just not really a lot to it, and there are ways you can go around combat. You don't have to do combat. For my playthrough, I would say I took a page out of my time playing Baldur's Gate and just sort of hit everything I could, which it worked out for me for the most part, but other times not so much. But yeah, the combat is there, but it's not the center focus of the game. The dialogue and the story is really what drives this thing. All the companions that you come into contact with, that you meet, or you take with you, or decide to take with you in your travels, I thought they were all fantastic, and they were all very well rounded. Mort has to be probably there was I forget what he said now, but something he said made me like go ballistic and just have a laughing fit. And I had to pause the game and like come back to my senses. But he's a hilarious companion. They're all great, and you all really, by the end of the game, you care about all of them, which is sort of what you want in an RPG. And the other thing I have is the more I played, the more I wanted to learn about the main character, which is the Nameless One. Spoiler warning for those of you that maybe have not played. I'll give you a second to click away. I'm just going to give a quick of what this is about. Basically the Nameless One wakes up and he doesn't know who he is at all. You're met with Mort right away, the floating skull, and Mort just sort of takes you through the world as you go, and he gives you little bits and pieces. You get the sense that this maybe isn't the first time that you two have crossed paths, and by the end of the game, you meet so many people and other NPCs that you can tell that the Nameless One has crossed paths with in the past. Excuse me. But as I said, the more I played, the more I just wanted to dig into the Nameless One and see, what really he is all about, and how did he get to this point? And I think by the end of the game, I think you're given that. There are 3 different endings to this game, which I thought was intriguing. The ending I thought was very. It wasn't spectacular by any means, but I think it capped it off pretty well. I guess I haven't really looked into what the other endings are, so I don't know if the one I got is a bad ending or a good ending or whatnot. Sorry about that beep. But yeah, other notes I have is the game is actually somewhat pretty difficult. It's not like the Baldur's Gate enhanced editions where you can set it to easy or story mode. I set this on normal at first, and I had a really difficult time. I kept dying, and well, that's the other thing. If you die, the game's not over. You start back at a certain point, and you just continue going. But I mean, I didn't know that at first. I thought I died, and I was like, oh, I just lost all my progress. So I would like go back to the save, but pretty soon I found out like sometimes the game not forces you to die, but like you have to die to like move on, and it's just sort of this like this interesting mechanic that the game has. But I found it to be fairly difficult, so I put it on the easiest difficulty, and even that was still pretty hard for me. I was having to, go back to different saves and do it differently, or just start all over. But yeah, so the game is pretty difficult, but once you get to the end, it is very, very rewarding. I would say, I mean, the game came out in, I forgot to look it up, 1999. So for being, more than 20 years old, I would say the game holds up in the story aspect. I think this game has one of the best stories in an RPG I've played. It's up there with Baldur's Gate. It surpasses Skyrim, no question. It surpasses Fallout, no question. I just think that this is the game, or this is the story that when someone is creating an RPG, game, that they look at it and they say, how can we get to Planescape Torment level? It's really, really up there, in my opinion. So the last question is, what's my final thoughts, or, what do I rate this game? And it was teetering on an 8, a 9, but once I really sat down and I thought about it, no question, Planescape Torment, probably one of the best games, certainly RPGs, that I've ever played. And it was fantastic spending time in the world. It was really fascinating going, from the Baldur's Gate series to this, because it was just amazing to see the progression, not only in technology, but just story-driven gameplay that I think a lot of games these days can sometimes lack. And I really wish developers and people that create these games would sort of go back to. I would much rather play a game that has a great base and story foundation, and they can build the combat or the dialogue or all that other stuff that fits into the middle of the game. Next, I would much rather have a base and an engaging, fantastic story first. That's just me. So all in all, I'm going to give Planescape Torment a 10 out of 10. I don't really have any issues about it. I played it. I played the Enhanced Edition on PS4. I had no issues as far as frame rate, crashing, anything like that. No issues whatsoever. So it's a 10 out of 10 for me. And yeah, that's that. So the next game I'm going to be playing, you guys have maybe already seen a couple of videos I put up, but it's Icewind Dale, another sort of game from the RPG series, as far as Baldur's Gate and Planescape Torment goes. At the time of this recording of the video, I've actually already finished the game, but I've scheduled out the videos ahead of time. So make sure you check out my review on that when all those videos are done. I think you'll be interested in what I have to say. We're just playing Icewind Dale 1, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, as always, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think of Planescape Torment in the comments. Did you guys, did anyone play this when it first came out? Did anyone only play the Enhanced Edition? Let me know what you guys think of probably one of the best games I've ever played, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.